Congratulations and great choice going with a new redesigned 2025 Chevrolet Equinox, this one being the RS trim. Looks phenomenal. You're gonna love this vehicle. Personally, I love the radiant red with the black accents of the RS. I like the big open sporty grille, and I really love the red accents on the interior, the red stitching, and that flat bottom steering wheel. It really was a great choice, and I know on delivery day, it's a big day, right? There's a lot going on. It's sort of information overload, and you may have forgotten how some of the buttons and knobs and some of the features of your Equinox work. That's what this video is all about, so let's get to it. With your 2025 Chevrolet Equinox, you will get 2 key fobs. You can see you have lock, unlock, remote start, and the power door. On the back, you also have a horn button, so if you want to locate it in the parking lot, or like the old panic button, you can press that to hear the horn. So remote start, we're going to press lock and double press the start button. Wait a few seconds, vehicle is going to start up, and it's going to run for 10 minutes. During that 10 minutes, that vehicle is going to sense the temperature outside, and it's going to automatically heat or cool the vehicle to get it more comfortable for you when you arrive. Now, once you get to the vehicle, you can either hit your unlock on your key fob, or you can just press your entry button here on the door handle, open your door, and you're in. Now, let's say you get to a point of ownership where the battery in this key fob or the battery in the vehicle for some reason is dead, and you have to manually enter the door. I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing you're going to do is press the little black button on the key fob and pull your manual key out. You're then going to look underneath the driver's door handle for that little slot. You're going to stick the key in like this all the way in, as far as it can go, and you're going to turn it counterclockwise while pushing this little panel to the right with your thumb. I wasn't able to do that with one hand holding the camera, but as you can see, this is now loosened up. So I turned this counterclockwise, I pushed with my thumb, it releases this, and then you can see the keyhole. You could also see if I do turn this counterclockwise a little bit, that little piece of silver trim there moves, which is what releases this. Now to put it back on, you're going to basically get it started, and then you're gonna have to turn the key counterclockwise again and slide it in. Just trying to do this with one hand. Slide it into place just like that. So trust me, it works. It's easy. It's just knowing how to do it. It is in your owner's manual. I think on like page 6 or 7, it shows you exactly how to do that. Once you're inside the vehicle, if you have to pop the hood, you're just going to pull your lever right here. Super easy. Come to the front of the vehicle. Put your hand in on the left side of the bow tie, straight in. Move your hand to the right, and you're going to feel that lever that you could unlock to open your hood. This does have a prop rod. We're going to put that in place just like that, and now here is your 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. When I talk about these things, they are covered for 5 years, 60,000 miles. The main thing I like to point out is washer fluid, which is here on the right hand side. You have your battery with your positive terminal in case you had to jump start your vehicle or someone else's, and they put a ground post right here on the front, so it's very easy to access positive and negative. Oil dipstick if you want to check your oil, right here in the center. Oil filler, and your air filter box if you wanted to change your air filter by yourself. But what I recommend is while you're under your warranty, just let service department handle all this sort of stuff. You know, your oil changes, your tire rotations, and your multi-point inspections. As we come down the side here, our mirrors are not power folding, but they do move both ways, which would make it easier for them not to break if somebody was to bump into it. Fuel door is on the driver's side. It's just a press to release. These are capless, so there's nothing missing here. And to close it, you're just basically going to close it and then, again, push to lock it in place. The rear liftgate is going to have a button right under here that you can kind of press and feel. You can use that to just press. This particular one has the power door. You can also do that with your key fob and with this button right here on your driver's door. You have a nice amount of cargo space inside the back here, and you have sort of like a little hidden storage underneath. And then underneath that is where you would find your spare tire, the jack, the tools, everything you would need. Again, this vehicle does have roadside assistance for the first 5 years or 60,000 miles, whichever comes first. So if you have an issue, you can just call 1-800-CHEV-USA, or if OnStar is active in your vehicle, just press your OnStar button. They'll come help you out. To close the door, the button on the driver's door, the button on your key fob, or the button right here. On the back doors here, on each side, you're gonna have your child lock where you can toggle on and off to disable these handles. You have your power window button here. And this particular trim has heated seats for the 2 rear outboard seats, and you have some vents here. There is no control in the back for those vents. Whatever you have set in the front is gonna filter through the back to help keep your rear passengers either cool or warm. A couple more things in the back I'd like to mention. You do have your pull down for your armrest with some cup holders. You do have 3 headrests which move up and down. depending on where you need them. And to move them up and down, there's a little button here to press to move it down. And then I don't know if you can see it on video, but there's a little hole right here. If you put a paper clip or something in that hole, you can lift these headrests out. So for instance, let's say you're always in the vehicle by yourself and you want a little more visibility in the back. If your headrest has that little hole, you're gonna push something in there like a paper clip and you can lift the headrest out. Just make sure you install that headrest back in if you have rear passengers in the vehicle. Your handle here, you're just gonna press and pull to fold the seat down. Give yourself more cargo space if needed. And lastly, you have very easy access to your latch system for car seats. These little covers pop off and there's the latch bar. So no more trying to jam your hand in between the seats to gain access for your car seats. And that's a latch system for each outboard seat. The front passenger seat in this particular trim is power. So forward, back, up, down, and lumbar. Passenger can be nice and comfortable. And you have the same thing on the driver's seat with memory package. With that memory package, you're gonna adjust your seat exactly the way you like it. You're gonna adjust your mirrors, both left and right, exactly the way you like it. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna press set in either 1 or 2, depending on what position you are setting. Set, press and hold, it beeps twice, it's set immediately. Set, press and hold 2. Again, once you hear that double beep, it's saved. You can also set an exit position, meaning you can have the seat back and down to make it easier to get in and out. And then if we go on our screen here, and we go to settings, vehicle, seating position, you can turn on your entry and exit memories. You can toggle these on. Now, when you get in with your key, as soon as you press the start button to start the vehicle or turn the vehicle off, it's gonna go to whatever those positions are automatically. You also have your unlock and lock and your window controls, which is pretty self-explanatory. On the panel here right below the vent, you have your park brake, your all-wheel drive button, because you can go from front-wheel drive to all-wheel, an auto hold, a auto start stop deactivate. That's that feature that will turn the vehicle off when you're stopped at like red lights and things like that. If you don't like it, you can deactivate it with that button, but you're gonna have to deactivate it every time you start the car because it's automatically on when you start. And lastly, you have your panel dimmer switch here where you can dim out your dash lights when you're driving at night. Left side of the steering wheel, you're gonna have cruise control. Now, what's really neat is we have 2 different cruise controls. This little symbol here is for adaptive cruise control, which can mirror the vehicle in front of you as far as speed. So it can slow you up and speed you down. If you press and hold the cancel button, you're gonna see that image change, and now regular cruise control is selected. Yes, this vehicle does have regular cruise, which will just keep you at 65, or it has adaptive, where if you set it for 65, the car in front of you does 50, the car will slow itself. And that's how you toggle it back and forth. Just press and hold the cancel button till you see that symbol change. Another button on here, which is new, is L for low. So when we go to drive, you'll notice there is no L, there's no manual mode, there's no numbers for different gears. You have to hit L for low. Once you hit L, you'll notice it says L1. I can use my paddle shifter here to tap up, and you can manually go through the 8 gears. Up shifts are on the right, down shifts are on the left. On the back of the steering wheel, you'll notice a couple extra buttons. Those are gonna be to toggle to your preset stations or skip tracks on Pandora, things like that. On the right-hand side here, you have volume controls up and down. Right side of the steering wheel, you have your push to talk button or your button to answer the phone, your button to hang up the phone by pressing this little silver button down. This also acts as a mute for the radio. You have a heated steering wheel button. You have a music note. When you hit the music note, it'll bring up your sources on the screen, and then you can use this toggle here to toggle what you want to listen to. Press it in when you want to select something. And you also have a button here which changes your layout on your driver information center. So we can change to a couple different screens, one being, as you can see here, your navigation that's in the vehicle, your safety features, a very simple, simplistic screen with just a speedometer, and then back to the original screen we were at. In the center here, we have a nice amount of storage in our center console, a couple of cup holders, maybe a coin tray or a spot to put your key while you're driving. We have what I feel is our best wireless charger ever, because it's on a little bit of an angle. Drop your phone in it. It doesn't take up that much space. You still have all the storage space up here. A lot of our vehicles have a wireless charging pad there. You lay your phone on it and it takes up the whole thing. Also, if you put other things there, it'll mess up the charge. So this one, very, very nicely designed. And you have a couple of USB ports here as well that you can plug in wires to charge if need be. You also probably noticed a mode button. When you turn this wheel, it's gonna change our drive modes from off-road to snow ice to normal to off-road to snow ice. All right, back to normal. So those are the 3 different modes you have. And in vehicles today, these modes will change throttle response, transmission shift points, sometimes brake and steering feel, those sort of parameters. It's all software based. So if you're in snow and ice, you turn that on, you turn on your all-wheel drive, and you should have excellent traction to help get you down the road. I just repositioned the vehicle to hopefully have a little less glare on our screen when we go over that. Up top here, you're gonna notice you have a couple controls for your sunroof. One is gonna do a slide feature where the sliding will open it up. One will do a tilt, and then this one here is our power shade. You press it once, that shade's gonna come all the way closed. You can stop it along the way if you want to. That definitely will help us with the glare here. And you have up top your OnStar buttons and your hazards, which are located up top. That's something new as well. A lot of our cars always had it down here somewhere, but up top, it's in a nice spot for either the driver or the passenger to press if need be. With the OnStar system, if you sign up for that, you will get 1 month complimentary service of the entire suite of products to kind of try it out. You could always purchase after that a subscription if you want. And one big thing now, the mobile app, the My Chevrolet app, is included for 3 years. So you can lock, unlock, remote start your vehicle from your phone, as well as locate it on a map, see tire pressures and all that sort of stuff. Another feature your 25 Equinox RS has is the rear camera mirror. We're gonna pull down the tab and then look at that, you actually have a camera image here. You could also press and change the brightness, the zoom in and zoom out. So you can change that, and you can change how high or low you want it to be. So you have some adjustments there, which is pretty nice. Works very well on the highway because you can see like all the lanes of traffic behind you. It gives you a wider field of view than what you would normally see out the back window. Climate control panel, very easy to operate. You have driver, passenger, hot and cold. You can see you have temperature displays on the knobs. You can hit sync, so whatever you do on the driver's side will also change the passenger. And then in the middle, you have all your buttons. So do you want your air to the floor vents, to the dash vents, to the front window? You have a button for AC. You have an on-off for the whole system. You have your recirculate button, and then you have your front and rear defrosts. Fan speed is right in the middle. Big fan turns the fan up, little fan turns the fan down. You even have an automatic where you can just set the temperature for whatever you want, just like you would in a house. You set it for 65, you hit auto, it'll keep the vehicle at that temperature automatically. Lastly, you're gonna have your, in this model, your heated seats, high, medium, low, off, and your ventilated seats, high, medium, low, off. That's driver and that's passenger. So super easy layout. If you like using the screen better, you hit the climate button, and a lot of those features you can do right here on the screen. Now, I may make a dedicated video just on the infotainment systems in these new vehicles because they are pretty involved. But like a cell phone or an iPad or any kind of tablet these days, basically you put it in your hands, you turn it on, and you swipe and navigate, and everything you see is buttons. They're pretty intuitive, pretty self-explanatory. So a couple things to highlight is this is your menu bar for your vehicle, which is always going to appear here. Home plate is going to bring you to your home set of apps. So if you swipe around or you go to any different pages, you want to go back home, you hit home. This is like a split screen button, which will give you like part nav, part radio, depending on what you want. Music note will bring you to your radio screen. Important button here where it says Sirius XM, that's your source. So if you press that, it'll bring up AM, FM, Sirius XM, your Bluetooth, USB ports, all that sort of stuff. If you hit the little navigation or the map screen, it'll bring you up to your map. That's where you have Google Maps built into this vehicle. Now that's through OnStar. It's a subscription-based service after the free trial, but no worries, you have Apple CarPlay, you have Android Auto, so if you have a smartphone and you pair your smartphone to the screen, you will see your phone's Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, whatever it is on screen under Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So if you don't want to pay for this system, you don't have to, and you can still use nav on the screen. You'll have a phone button here, which is how you would pair your phones. You also see there's a little lightning bolt in there lit up green. That's showing that my phone is currently charging. And to pair your phone, you can hit manage phones, hit the plus. It's gonna start a search. You go on your phone to Bluetooth connections, you'll see it pop up, you click it. You go to a couple answers as far as allowing contacts and enabling CarPlay, stuff like that, and your phone will be paired. Super easy. Lastly, you have a controls button up top. Now this is where a lot of buttons will be that are no longer within the vehicle. For instance, your power window lockout. If you want to lock out the windows in the back, let's say you have children, you don't want them messing with the window controls. It used to be right here. Now, rather than having a button here, it's on screen. You just give it a push and now it's on. You also have your fog lights, your dome lights, your park assist, your automatic high beams. And if we hit see more controls, you have a couple different options here where you can go in as well to change headlights and that sort of stuff. Headlights are automatic like they've been for the last 10, 15 years. So as long as it's in auto, they'll do everything they need to do without you having to worry. Just going to close out that screen, go back to our home button here, and you can see vehicle status. This is where you would see all different parameters of the vehicle, the vitals of the vehicle, your tire pressures, your brake pad life. If you go to fluids and filters, it shows you your oil life, your engine air filter life, battery volts, coolant temperature, oil pressure, oil temp. Even your trip odometer is on here. When you bring up your trip odometer, you can add it to your driver display, because everything now here is in the middle, but if you want to see it there, you can. And it's also how you would reset your trip. So if I want to reset, just going to hit that, reset, you can zero it out. So it's pretty cool that everything's on this screen now in the middle versus the one here. A little different than what we're used to, but I think very nice. Also, you have customization on this screen. I always remember that when I look at the camera icon. Let's say you don't care that your phone's on here, right? You can click drag this out. Now the phone's not there, you can click and drag your camera icon up there. So now if you're, let's say, in navigation and you're driving home and now you pull in the garage, you can hit one button and you can bring your front camera right up. I really like that feature, especially when you're using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, because you don't have to do multiple presses if you want to pull into the garage. I do that all the time in my car. When I pull into the garage, I hit the camera so I know how close to the shelves I am, as I'm pulling in. Again, very intuitive, very easy to use. If you have an Alexa, you can log in. You can use the Google Play Store as long as you have a subscription active. Again, free trial for the first month. You have a Wi-Fi hotspot you could use. A lot of this stuff is purchased obviously through OnStar. You just press your blue OnStar button and they could help you purchase it if you'd like to. Very important, I'd like to mention, there is no contract with any of these programs. It's month to month. So let's say you're driving from New Jersey to Florida on a road trip, the kids are in the back, they're gonna have their tablets and you want them to be able to stream movies or have Wi-Fi, and you wanna do it to OnStar, you press the blue button, you buy a data plan for that month, at the end of the month you press it again, you cancel. So there's no contract, you're not held to anything, you can turn it on and off as you see fit. Pretty much covered everything here that I'd like to. The settings button will bring you to all different things that you can kind of control and customize and change. Like when you go to vehicle, you'll see there's all sorts of different settings for the safety features, the comfort features, the climate features, your lighting. It's kind of preset to what GM feels is like the easiest, best way to use the vehicle, but you can kind of go in and customize all those things, as you see fit. So it's fun when you buy your new vehicle to kind of sit in there and play around with everything. That's a good spot to kind of go through and customize the vehicle for your usage. I'm going to open up the sunroof shade here, let some light in, because I think we're pretty much done. I think we went through everything. If you have any questions or anything like that, just put it in the comments. I'll try to answer them all. Make sure when you buy a vehicle that your owner's manuals are in the glove box. This way you'll have that. And if you do in fact download that My Chevrolet app, I believe the owner's manual is right on the app where you can kind of search stuff there as well. So it's an easy spot to find maybe answers to questions you have as you start driving your brand new 2025 Chevrolet Equinox.